Hey guys, welcome back to another video. Today I'll be doing my annual most anticipated films of the year video where I talk about the 10 most interesting films to me that are going to be coming out throughout the year of 2016. I've got a few honourable mentions as well. So in the honourable mentions we're going to start off with a film called Sully. Now I don't really know anything about it other than that it stars Tom Hanks, so I'm already hooked. It is based on a true story. It was directed by Clint Eastwood. That's pretty much all I know. There's no information released on the film much other than that. Yeah, so you can look it up if you want and find out the plot, but pretty much anything with Tom Hanks I'll go and see. Next, there's a film I actually talked about last year in my most anticipated list that never actually came out, and I don't even know if it'll come out this year, but it says it will come out sometime in 2016 now, and it's another Tom Hanks film directed by one of the three guys who did Cloud Atlas, and it's called A Hologram for the King. There's still only one photo released of the film, and I'm hoping that it does come out this year because the plot sounds quite interesting and I think it will be quite a good film. And another film I'm looking forward to coming out this year is called Eddie the Eagle. I know it's based on the true story of this British guy, I think, who did the ski jumps, and he wasn't really an athletic person, but he was really trying to push himself to be a great athlete. And Hugh Jackman's in the film, Taron Egerton is in the film, the guy from Kingsman and Legend last year, so he's going pretty well, so I'm keen to see what he'd be like in this movie. So those are a few honourable mentions. So now starting in at number 10 we have a film called Silence, which is directed by Martin Scorsese. That's pretty much the reason I want to see this movie. It doesn't actually have a release date yet other than 2016, so I do hope that it comes out this year. I think it's based on a few Jesuit priests back in the olden days who go over to China or one of those Asian countries to spread the gospel, and they're captured and tortured. And it sounds just like a really interesting film, and that Martin Scorsese would do a really good job directing it. It stars Liam Neeson, Adam Driver from the new Star Wars film, as well as Andrew Garfield. So no trailers at the moment, just a few screenshots from the film, but it does look pretty cool, so I'm keen to see that movie. In ninth place we have... So the BFG is usually one of those kind of Disney films that I wouldn't really get into too much, but when you find out that it's directed by Steven Spielberg, it's kind of like a must-see film now. There is a short trailer released and it looks pretty good, although I hope they don't show the giant as just CGI the whole time. It'd be cool if they just upscaled the real human character to be in the scene rather than animate him and make it look fake. So Steven Spielberg usually does a really good job with his films, so I'm hoping that it kind of carries on through this. And we've got John Williams back to do the musical score, so it should be good doing another fantasy film with Spielberg like Hook, which had an amazing soundtrack, so I hope they can kind of work on something like that together. In 8th place we have... So Inferno is kind of the third film in an unofficial trilogy by Ron Howard, starting with the Da Vinci Code, and then we had Angels and Demons, and now there's Inferno, once again starring Tom Hanks. He's got a few films coming out this year. I wasn't a huge fan of the Da Vinci Code. I really enjoyed Angels and Demons though a lot more, and so I'm hoping that they carry on the tradition with this film, that it's really good as well. No trailers or anything released on the film yet, but it is meant to come out later this year, so really looking forward to seeing a trailer for that film. So in 7th place we have... So the X-Men franchise has pretty much been my favourite thing that Marvel has done throughout their whole film career. I'm more of a DC fan myself. I love the Batman and Superman films. But yeah, as I said, X-Men films are really good. The first two films are great. Wasn't really a fan of the next few, but I really loved the Wolverine, and X-Men Days of Future Past has been my favourite film so far from the series. I know that I don't think Hugh Jackman's going to be the Wolverine again in this film, unfortunately, but still could be a really good movie. The trailers look pretty good. I just hope that they can pull it off and that it's as good as Days of Future Past at least, because yeah, that was a really good film and it has a lot to live up to now. I know that the villain is going to be like the ultimate X-Men villain, so that should be pretty cool to see how that goes down. And it's been directed by Bryan Singer, who did the first two X-Men films as well as Days of Future Past, so hopefully they can just carry on that cool style from the last film. In 6th place we have... So The Suicide Squad is a DC superhero film coming out this year. I love how DC are kind of just starting to really push out all their movies now since Man of Steel, so these are going to kind of spring from that with the Batman vs Superman universe and everything. The trailers look fantastic for this movie. It looks like it's shot really well and really well handled, and I love that about DC films. Most of their films look really good, and it just kind of looks like Watchmen in that just really professional style and look. So I'm looking forward to seeing Jared Leto as the Joker. He looks fantastic in the trailers. You've got Harley Quinn and just a great cast of really unique characters that we haven't seen before in film. So The Suicide Squad, not really a film I know much about, but really want to see it. Probably will see it when it comes out in cinemas. Coming down to our top 5 now, so in 5th place we have... So Finding Dory is going to be the next film from Pixar. Pixar are an amazing film company, they're my favourite animation company. Obviously it'll be the sequel to Finding Nemo, which was one of their best films. They just had a pretty good year with Inside Out and The Good Dinosaur. Both really good movies, although Inside Out was definitely the standout, and I hope it wins Best Picture for the animated films this year at the Academy Awards. But there is a short teaser out for Finding Dory. It doesn't really show much about what's happening, but I still can't wait to see it. It does have a lot to live up to though, the first film being one of the best animated films of all time in my opinion. And yeah, I just hope that they carry on that feel that the first film had, and that it just stands out. There's not just another kind of film sequel that's letting it down a bit. So I really hope that Finding Dory is a good film. I know that Thomas Newman's back to do the score, so that'll be cool. And I'm pretty sure Andrew Stanton was the director of the first film, and he'll be back to do this one as well. So next up in 4th place we have... So The Conjuring was one of my favourite films of 2013. It was just a fantastic horror movie, one of the best horror movies ever made in my opinion. And James Wan is definitely the best horror director around these days with the in the Conjuring film, the 2 Insidious films that he did, the first Saw film, Dead Silence, I even enjoyed a little bit. So I'm really excited that he's back to direct the sequel. I just hope that it's as good as the first film. I know that, as I said, with like a lot of sequels, they tend to just go out of control, but Insidious 2 was actually really good, I thought. I thought number 3 was kind of rubbish, but yeah, the second one was good, and it was directed by James Wan as well. So we do have a trailer for this film, and it looks pretty good, like it could live up to the first film, and I really hope it does, so I'm definitely going to be seeing this in cinemas. It stars most of the original cast. You've got Patrick Wilson back and Vera Farmiga, and it's another one of the true stories from the Warrens case files, so it'll be cool to see how that plays out. So that's The Conjuring 2, and I believe it's called The Enfield Poltergeist or something like that. In 3rd place we have... Hail Caesar is the new comedy from the Coen brothers, 2 of my favourite directors. They've done some fantastic films over the years. I love Oh Brother Where Art Thou, No Country for Old Men, Raising Arizona, Barton Fink. They've just done some amazing movies. Also a few films I'm not that interested in, like their last film, Inside Llewyn Davis, I found a bit boring, but the trailers for this film just really show their comedic style out in full force, and I can't wait to see it. There's 2 trailers and they're really funny. There's a scene that they show in the second trailer that's just hilarious, and I can't wait to see the film. I hope that it all holds up to that style of that scene, and that it's just like really funny throughout. You do get a lot of the traditional Coen brothers cast back, like Frances McDormand, Josh Brolin, George Clooney, Tilda Swinton. You also get Ralph Fiennes, who was in the Grand Budapest Hotel, so I'm looking forward to seeing him do comedy again because he was great in that film. Channing Tatum, Scarlett Johansson and Jonah Hill are all in this film, so a massive cast. And yeah, I just hope that it's really good. I think it comes out next month, so definitely we'll be seeing that in cinemas, can't wait for it. In 2nd place we have... Miss Peregrine's Home for Peculiar Children is a book, and I haven't read it, but Tim Burton's directing the film. He's my favourite filmmaker, so I'm really looking forward to it. There's no trailers out yet. There is an official logo / poster kind of thing, which looks pretty cool. I don't know a whole lot about the story, but I think it's going back to Tim Burton's kind of fantasy films that he used to do, and I just hope that it's really good and that he doesn't overuse the visual effects and CGI. He has done a few dramas lately, like Big Eyes, and a lot of people like that, but I really like him for his original style of fantasy and horror and thriller, so I really hope that it just goes back to his old 80s and 90s style filmmaking. He's bringing back Eva Green, who he worked with on Dark Shadows a few years ago, so she could be good in the film. Samuel L. Jackson's going to be in the film. He hasn't worked with before, so that should be interesting. I think Danny Elfman's going to do the musical score as usual, so it should be a pretty good film. And I'm hoping to see a trailer pretty soon. So that's Miss Peregrine's Home for Peculiar Children in 2nd place. So in 1st place, if you haven't guessed it already, we have Batman vs Superman Dawn of Justice is the new DC film directed by Zack Snyder, who did Man of Steel recently. This is kind of like the sequel, though we're just bringing in all these different characters: Batman, Aquaman, Wonder Woman, Lex Luthor. And we do have a few trailers of the film that it shows a lot of action sequences and explosions, and I just hope that Zack Snyder doesn't get carried away like he has in a few of his previous films, with the action scenes seem to take over from the story and everything. I really hope it's a good movie though. It's got a lot riding on it. I did enjoy Man of Steel when it came out, so I'm just hoping that it's better than that, because we've got a lot more characters. I hope they're not just shoehorned in either, because that could easily happen to set up for the Justice League films. So I'm a big fan of Batman and of Superman, and I can't wait to see how this film goes down. I don't really look into it too much because I don't want to see too many spoilers. I just want to wait for the film to come out and then go see it and review it for you guys. and yeah, I'm definitely excited for it and looking forward to it. I'll be interested to see how Ben Affleck handles playing Batman after we had 3 fantastic performances from Christian Bale in the Dark Knight trilogy, as well as how he holds up to the original Michael Keaton. And so as with most people's list for this year, I think Batman vs Superman is going to be pretty high on most people's lists, but yeah, it's definitely a film I'm looking forward to and that fans of DC and just comic book superhero fans will be looking forward to as well. So thanks guys for watching my most anticipated list of 2016. I'll probably be adding to it as the year goes on, as I usually do. You hear about new films coming out and stuff. Hope this didn't go on too long for you. I will have a link to each trailer for each of these films in the description below. I know there aren't trailers out for all these films yet, but as the year goes on I'll add the trailers to the description when they come out. So thanks again for watching. Please subscribe to my channel. I'll have more reviews, updates, Blu-ray unboxings and videos like that coming soon, and I'll see you then. Bye.